again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans. And this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar today. We're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they have how long is it? 3-hour happy hour. You see, we're on the other side of the bar today, so I can't see this board up here. Adam,
3 hours.
Can you tell me what it says?
It says 3 to 6 every day. Half price all drinks and half price starters and bar fare.
Okay, all right. And that was, of course, the voice of Adam Gertner, who's half of the duo Roar, which I've been very nervous about saying because of my accent. How do you pronounce it?
That was
Roar.
perfect.
That was perfect.
Roar.
Yeah.
Not
Excellent.
raw.
No.
R-O-A-R.
R-O-A-R.
Okay. R-O-A-R. So that's Adam Gertner, and Carly Myers is the other half. Hi, Carly.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for
Good.
being here, you two.
Thanks for having us.
Do you think anybody listening knows who the hell you are?
I don't know, maybe.
Everyone
How
know
long?
who we are.
How long have you been around?
Roar's only been 2 years, actually.
Yeah,
2
said
years.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that. I thought it was like 2 minutes for some reason.
Yeah.
It feels
you know,
like
How does
that.
it? Does it feel like
It
2
feels
minutes?
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you guys have known each other for a long time, though.
Yes,
High school.
Since high school. Are you a couple as well?
we are.
Aha! Are you married?
Common law, but that doesn't exist here. 8 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you've been together 8 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, David Picasso is an attorney.
Hey,
Oh, hello.
So
Yeah.
he can tell you what that means. What
you
is
could
that?
have children. You could do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
we
sweet.
could.
Anybody can have
Yeah,
children.
I'm
We
good
have one that's
without
called
them.
Roar.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens if you get? Well, nothing. If you split up, are they able to sue each other for
You
community
can sue
property?
anybody for anything,
For our records.
anytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just file
Oh,
any
sweet.
paperwork. Yeah.
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 What about community property after being a common law husband and wife?
We just
this-
mix our records, so
Yeah.
we'll be okay.
Do you own anything?
Only albums.
Yeah.
Do you make enough money to buy a house or
No.
a car?
No.
Not
We
yet.
have a nice artist loft downtown.
Oh, you do? That you own
Right
together?
on, man.
Maybe not own.
Rent
but
together.
Rent together.
Yes.
Okay.
That's nice.
So who's going
It
to get
is.
who's going to get the house
Fantastic.
after the divorce?
Oh, there won't be a divorce.
Everything's working out.
Everything's
You've been
working
together for
out.
8 years.
Yeah.
We sewed our bodies together.
Ah,
you can't see it,
that's
it's
so
invisible.
sweet. Okay, David, have you
Kinda
you're
creepy.
married too?
I am, yeah.
How
I
long
two
have you been
kids.
married?
I've actually been married 16 years, but I've known my
Oh,
wife
wow.
for 30 years.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
What
kind of
what
a-
happened for the other 14 years?
Well, we dated. She said I needed some therapy. We broke up. I actually got back together in 2000, and we stuck together. Have
That's
2
awesome.
boys.
How long were you apart for?
Apart for let's see, 87 to that's 13 years. Yeah,
You were together for how many first?
we were together for a year and a half.
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5, and then we
And
drifted
then you were
apart.
together for 13. You were off
Yeah.
for 13.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I emailed her and said maybe I wanted to see your children grow up, and maybe I'll have your children. I think I said that.
No,
late at
she'd
night.
have to have your children. That's a sort of an anatomical misunderstanding. Totally.
But,
do need
it's been a
therapy.
blessing.
Yeah.
It has
This is
been.
Jax Fry, who's here as well. J-A-X. So everyone's got a bizarre spelling of their name, except David Capasso is normal. Jax is J-A-X. Is that your
JAX.
real name?
No,
No. What is your real name?
Judith.
Judith. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Jax is just a nickname.
Jax is cooler.
Okay.
Jackson.
I think
Yeah.
Jax is
Yeah.
cool.
It has an
I
X.
love that.
J-A-X.
Yeah, how many
brewery.
names have
Maybe the
X's
X.
in them,
Brewery,
right?
Jax
Alex?
Brewery.
Jax.
Good point. Are you named after the beer?
And in fact, my old common law gave me the name.
Oh,
Yeah, a long time ago, yeah. Kept it since.
What happened to him?
I don't even know.
Oh, this is where,
was a few-
Grayson Jernigan comes in. We can find him right now. What's his name? What's
he's
his-
He's out in California.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Dan Bergeron. Hi, Dan.
Bergeron. He's not. There are not many Bergerons in California.
I know. That's how I ended
Grayson,
up.
you've got 45 seconds to find Dan Bergeron. Oh, how do you spell
Oh,
Bergeron?
plum.
For Christ's fucking sake. That's pathetic.
I don't know how to spell.
B-E-R-G-E-R-O-N. Bergeron.
Bergeron.
Yeah. Dan Bergeron. Okay. And what did he do?
He was in customer service when I knew him.
That's
And he-
interesting. What sort of product was he servicing customers?
In cell phones.
Cell phone.
Yeah, and he got the whole customer service department calling me Jack's Beer for a while, and then they kind of, because he was from New Orleans and I was from New Orleans back there, and so that's how that kind of. He called me Etouffee for a while too.
This
But-
is in California.
This is in California for a little while.
What were you doing out there?
Oh,
Were
just
you
messing
painting?
around. Yeah,
Were
just-
you painting? Then?
No, I wasn't back
So
then.
this has only started recently, this painting career.
Yeah, I just started painting about 9 years ago.
Okay, so listen to this. I got this. This is verbatim. This is fact here. I have. Jax Fry, F-R-E-Y, is a world record holder. Okay. Are you waiting? Are you ready for this? She's a visual artist. She painted these little things here that you're looking at on the table in front of you. And if you listen to this online, you go to our website, itsneworleans.com, and take a look at a photo of these little things. They're paintings. When I say things, they're actually paintings.
Mm-hmm.
And she's painted more. Is it acrylic on canvas?
The most acrylic paintings on canvas by one artist.
In the entire world.
Wow.
She's
Yeah.
the world record holder for painting the most
20,000.
20,000 paintings.
20,000. That's all.
And
Yeah.
here it is.
Thank you,
There's
thank you.
number 20,000.
That's it.
Is
That's
the
number
number 20,000.
That's
so
right.
this has got to be a valuable piece of artwork here, number 20,000.
I'll say so, yes.
What do you think? What do you think it's worth?
If it's worth the same as this, then it's $40. Other
$40.
than that, I have no idea what to tell you there.
I think we should. Somebody here should buy this right now, don't you think?
Oh, that one's not for sale.
It's not for sale.
That one can't be.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
it's
no,
worth
no.
a lot more than 40
Maybe
bucks.
so, going up all
Name
the
your
time.
price, people.
Priceless.
Name your
It's
price.
priceless.
Yeah.
It's number
There you go.
20,000. So,
The
well,
MasterCard
of course, there's got to be an obvious question now, right? Come on, I can't be any.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I'm
or-
not
Well,
getting
that's
it.
a good
What?
one too. What happened after the day you did this? That was my question.
I kept painting.
So
So
where's
it's 20,000
20,000
and counting.
Where's 20,001? That's the one I'd like to buy.
Oh, that one's already sold. Sorry. Sorry.
So how long does it take you to paint one of these little things?
About 5 days. Yeah,
So-
but I do a bunch of them at one time.
Okay, that was going to be.
Because-
You're not doing.
yeah.
Otherwise, I was going to have to get Grayson to multiply 20,000 by 5.
Well,
So
there's a
wait,
lot
wait.
to them. There's a lot to them.
That means every
Artbyjax.com.
next painting is a world record holder. So everyone
Okay.
you make after that is the new world.
Okay.
Yeah, but
They
I
would
went
go
through
up
a lot to
increments.
get
Thank
that
you,
world
Grayson.
record. Yes.
No, but he's right. He's
true.
right. Every single painting you do now.
It's true.
Because I believe the only other person who is as prolific as you is Pablo Picasso, right?
That's debatable. I have
Okay.
an argument with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I read.
Yeah, he's actually painted 13,500 original paintings.
Okay, and he's dead, by the way,
And
right?
he's
So-
dead. That's right.
So he's out.
I could look up that.
Do it. Yeah.
Grayson will find out. So
Is-
Dead? Yeah, he
Is he dead? He is.
he's
Okay.
definitely dead. I know that. I'm pretty sure. So he painted 13,000, and you painted 20,000, which is 7,000 more, obviously, which is another 33% or something.
Oh, that was good.
More than Grayson will tell me if that's right. More than Pablo Picasso. So who else is in the running there?
No one I know. No one I can ever
You're
find.
worth more alive than dead. I mean, I would be you're more alive than dead.
I like the
Okay.
sound of that.
So how do you verify this?
Well, you just put it out there for one thing. I mean, I did a lot of research looking, and I didn't find anything. So then I applied for the
But
record,
who to? Guinness,
the World
Guinness
Record
Book of
Academy.
Records?
No, not Guinness. Guinness is still sticking with Picasso. They won't even talk to me. Yeah.
Guinness is
Oh, I
fake
They-
news.
see.
Guinness
This
is fake news.
debatable now. That's what
Yeah.
she means by debatable.
Yeah. So
I see, okay.
so I've got a little argument with them going, but
With the Guinness Book of Records.
with the Guinness Book of World Records, yeah. So then I went to their competitor, the World Record Academy, and checked them out and felt good about them. So then I had to jump through all kind of hoops to get it. I had to hire an
How
accountant.
many
and
hoops?
A bunch. I had to make videos.
How many is a
and,
bunch? Is that a world record number of hoop jumping?
I'll say 7.
7 hoops.
7 hoops.
Could that be a world record? Probably not. Okay. So the Guinness Book of World Records says that Pablo Picasso, and why do they deny you the record?
Well, it's funny
What
because I
happened?
came back and I told them, okay, so Pablo, this is not a quality issue. This is definitely
Well,
just
that's
quantity.
my question. Is he an artist and you're not?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Well,
no,
what could there
that's not
what-
it. Because this is what they say. Okay, so he did 13,500 originals. He did 100,000 prints. He did 3,000 something sculptures.
Wow.
And my argument to them is that he should not be the most prolific painter. He should be the most prolific artist. They've got him as the painter. And so I said, and this is why the only original paintings on there are the 13,500. So they wrote
Which
me
is
back.
nothing, right?
Well,
I do that in my sleep.
Yeah,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
they wrote me back and they said, well, no, you have to include all this other stuff. And I
Like
said,
what?
but that's my argument. You know, you can't count the prints, you can't count the sculptures.
Right.
And you can't talk to these people. They're, you know, on some level up there where you can't call them and you can't email them. And so now that I went to their
sure about that.
competitor, I'm going to go back and say,
Okay.
okay, Guinness,
Okay.
people disagree with you,
And,
you know?
and is this worth anything financially to you to be the world record holder? I mean, can
Well, I
you
hope it's
cash
good
it?
for business, but, you know, other than that, I'm doing as many paintings as I can keep up with now.
It's interesting because you think that the more stuff you put out there, the more it would dilute the brand.
Possibly.
no,
I
I mean,
hope not, but who
I mean,
could resist a world record,
I mean,
right?
I've heard of Pablo Picasso, and he has
That's
13,500.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
oh my
So-
gosh,
So
yeah.
that can't be true,
but
right?
not counting.
No.
So so it can't hurt your career to have them.
Probably
more than
not.
Picasso.
Probably not, yeah.
And how
It's early
many,
days.
How many records does Roar have out?
We have one record
One.
and one EP, one half record.
One and 1 point.
One and a
something.
half.
1.5.
1.5.
Who holds the world record for the most records?
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to listen to the artists who had
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
records. Yeah.
Maybe the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Because people record those and just put them out.
Yeah.
There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
Grateful Dead records.
I mean, at a
That
certain point, you just put them out. It means they're not really putting much thought into any of it anymore. You just
right.
got to put the record out.
So you guys are a band, just the two of you.
Yeah.
And Adam, you're a drummer.
I am a drummer.
And Carly, you play the trombone.
I play trombone. And
So other than being like in love with each other, how did you come up with the idea of being in a band with a drummer and a trombone player?
it was a long process.
Yes, many
Yeah.
other bands, and
Yeah.
not really having the most fun working with other people, and
Uh-huh.
figuring out that being a duo was just a good idea. And then technology nowadays has let us catch up to that. We can use the computer to fill in other sounds.
So that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're playing everything on these.
Yeah.
We are,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He's covering the backing tracks that we program ourselves. It's our own sound. It's not like pre-bought stuff. And then while playing drums, and then I sing and play trombone and bass pedals. So
Bass pedals, what do they do? Play the bass.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're playing
Mhm.
those bass pedals while you're singing and
we
playing
Yes.
we go back and forth who covers the bass.
Yeah.
Well,
And you
that
know
is
the
very
Yeah.
difficult, isn't
most famous
It's
person
fun,
with those
yeah.
bass pedals is Gibby Haynes. So people know them for him.
it? That's who popularized the bass pedal.
Name
Yes,
drop.
you can check it up on Wikipedia.
Have we found Don
Mo Torres.
Bergeron yet?
I can't.
I hope not.
Can't spell Bergeron. Well, you know, these kids today with their education.
Yeah.
So what do you, bass pedals now?
Yeah, Moog Taurus.
No, Taurus.
Moog Taurus, yeah.
I've watched people play bass while they sing before, like Sting, for example.
Yeah,
Or
totally.
Paul McCartney.
Oh, I've heard of those
It looks
guys.
incredibly difficult to sing and play bass at the same time.
I think I
Let
don't
alone
know.
with your
I
feet.
can't play guitar, but I feel like it would be harder to do guitar or to do drums while playing.
Yeah.
It, but
But
I
you're
don't know.
singing,
Singing.
playing
It's
trombone,
pretty simple
and at the
bass
same time
parts.
you're playing the bass
Bass.
parts with your feet,
Yeah.
Yes.
standing up.
Yeah.
In high heels half the time.
That does sound
Sweating.
extraordinarily difficult.
It's really fun.
You really hate people that much that you couldn't hire a bass player.
No, I think it's more that we were on the same wavelength aesthetically and musically, conceptually, and
Yeah.
ever since high school we kind of gelled, and yeah, it just
Well, I got two
naturally,
questions. First of all, we
organically
have to
came
listen
to
to
being
some
two
music.
people.
Okay. And what high school were you at?
Denver School of the Arts.
Denver School of the Arts. So you
Yes.
both came here from Denver,
Yes.
We did, yeah.
Colorado.
Right
Same
on.
Denver, right?
Yeah.
A free state in terms of marijuana.
Yes.
Exactly.
It is
Oh,
a
good
different
point.
place now than
So-
it
It
was
is.
when we grew up
David,
there.
you're
Do you,
involved.
take, do you take her criticism and do you criticize him when you don't like the sound?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we do
seriously,
actually.
We're honest
That
with each
sucks.
other. Yeah, exactly.
So, David, among the many interesting things I know about you, it says that you're a founder of the Green Tea Party, which is involved in marijuana legalization.
Well, I mean, it was a great idea one day. It just seemed that with the whole Tea Party attitude, I just didn't like their politics. It was like a little too out there and a kind of a hater divider thing. But the Green Tea Party seemed like an attitude. You got green tea, which people like. It's kind of mellow.
Yeah.
You got activism. You got a political party situation. And then I came up with a great slogan that said, instead of Pharaoh and the Egyptians saying, let my people go, how about farmers, let my people grow? How about that? Sounds like
That's
so people
nice.
started catching on, but then people started hating the Tea Party so much, they said, no, I don't like anything to do with Tea Party. So it kind of faded away, but now, we have now 10 states that are legal: California, Oregon, Washington. I mean, it's there. So
amazing.
I see the snake that was the same image of Ben Franklin, Don't Tread on Me, where all the states were part of the snake. I see all the states that are legal, and things are happening. I mean, you get activists from each place, and we live in a slave state. We live in a state where people can still get arrested, go to jail. Bernie Nobles, as our man here, will definitely look up. He's in jail for 14 years for 3 joints. It's funny, but it's not funny.
What do you do with these 3 joints? You just possess them?
He was possessing them, that's right, and he
Are
had
you
3
kidding?
prior convictions, so we had the multiple bill issue in Louisiana, so he was charged with the multiple bill. They asked if he wanted to plead guilty and just go to jail for 6-7 years. He said, no, I don't want to do that. So the judge actually wanted to help him, but when they did find him guilty, they multiple bill. The district attorney used a multiple bill, and now he's in
Can
jail.
you just explain what multiple bill? That's like
It
the
means
3
that you could
strikes
be
and you're
double.
out.
You could just be wild on your sentence based on your single or second or third offense. So if you have a prior conviction, instead of your sentence being 0 to 5, it's then 5 to 10 or 10 to 20, whatever. Yeah.
It's
So
like
this is
3
like when you,
strikes, yeah.
yes, but it's like when you're driving down the highway and it says fines doubled, and
Oh yeah, it's definitely jacked
what
up
it-
there, no doubt about it.
that's the law in Louisiana.
Well, it's a law actually in the United States. I mean,
Federal
actually in
law.
California, they had a guy who delivered pizza, and somebody stole a pizza from another guy, and it was his 3rd conviction, and they got him a life sentence for that, for stealing pizza. Now they kind of
Well,
changed.
that's-
The Supreme Court said it's a little cruel and unusual, stealing pizza, having a life sentence, but the 3 strikes you're out still is there. And unfortunately, as we were talking before, that it's not liberal or conservative, because as you know, Bill Clinton supported the 3 strikes you're out law, and on the Republican side, they support law and order. But when the jails are full of people that are nonviolent offenders, how good is that? I mean, what's this waste of time? So I think it's actually double jeopardy to blame somebody twice or 3 times for the same crime, but that's a big issue with our district attorney, that the way he uses the multiple bill to kind of play on people.
But then
I know I'm adding a bummer to this radio station, but
no, it's interesting.
into the
Yeah,
podcast.
sure.
But yeah.
It's interesting because we've all got pot on us right now, I'm sure, right? So
Well, I mean, the
I know
word pot
Jax
is
does.
amazing. Is amazing that we
Dear.
still use that term. But
well, what should we call it, seeing we're legalizing marijuana?
well, you can call it whatever you want. Now, hemp,
that's
as
very
you know,
common.
hemp is actually the industrial plant that is used for cotton and for so many products,
Right.
and that's starting to come back around. And what's the difference between hemp and marijuana? The marijuana is the female plant. It's all mixed up, but something's happening where people are saying, wait a minute, maybe we can do something better than just locking people up for this. But
Yeah.
again,
Hang on
the
a
biggest
sec.
problem is the drunk driving. That's the biggest. The sheriff's office, the DA say there's going to be more drunk driving if you legalize it, but we haven't seen that in Denver. We haven't seen the facts on that. So
Right. No.
What are the facts? Are there more car accidents in
I think
states
that people,
where people are high?
will drink less. They will also get a Uber or get a Lyft or get somebody to give them a ride. And again, necessity is the mother of invention. I see a marijuana cool cab company saying, we'll give you a ride if you're stoned, and we'll get you
What
a
a great
ride
idea.
or something
It's a
like
great
that.
idea.
Well, if it's legal.
In Australia,
Yeah.
it's actually now legal to grow food. I mean, it's food products, but it's still not there.
It's legal to grow weed as a food
It's good.
product.
It's good to eat food products, and it's getting decriminalized.
Oh, you mean the edibles?
Yeah,
Well, this is
right.
the main problem they've had in Colorado, as far as I understand, if there is a problem,
Yeah.
is that you can't smoke the stuff anywhere, so people are now eating pot, which is super strong compared to
Exactly.
having a hit or 2 of weed. Now you know what
Yeah,
it's
they're
like.
eating whole candy
you know?
bars and
Yeah,
then go to
you're-
the hospital.
You're at the, yeah, exactly. You're at the baseball game. You're completely
Exactly.
fucked up, and you're way up the top. That must be pretty bad.
Oh, don't be so awful.
Have you guys been back since the legalization?
We
Yeah,
have,
many
yeah.
times, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the deal? You like when you get to the airport here, you go get a drink. Do you go get weed at the airport?
You can't get it at the airport yet.
No.
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 What's the
Mm-mm.
Have you been?
Yeah.
there,
Well,
Dave?
actually, I have a friend that lives outside of Denver. I think it's Broomfield. He's about 66 years old. He's an activist. It's a funny story, but it's not funny. Is that I said, dude, you're finally, after 30 years, you were at Kent State, you were an activist. He says, man, I can't afford it in the stores. I could buy it from the guy down the street, so I really can't afford the
Yeah.
taxes.
Oh, so
I'm
there's
like,
still
oh,
a black
come on.
market.
Yeah.
Well, how much is
Why do
it?
we call it a black market? It's a green market, but I mean, yeah.
Right.
that's-
Okay. Well,
Is
how
there
much?
a section of town in Denver that you go to?
everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wondered about
Yeah,
that.
it's everywhere.
And it's not just Denver; it's all of Colorado.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Yeah.
It's
That's right.
everywhere.
And
Yeah.
Oregon
That's
and
true.
Washington and
Well, they-
Arizona.
Yeah, and now
Las
Nirvana.
Vegas.
There's
That's
even
right.
Yeah.
resorts
Vegas.
that are like weed friendly. You can take a bus up to Aspen and smoke all the way.
Yeah,
and then-
supposedly now there
On the
is a
bus?
bus service that will
Yeah.
pick you up from the airport with marijuana and drive you to Aspen.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a bus tour that
Right.
will take you to every beer distillery in this town, and you pay money for
Oh,
that.
that's
but
awesome.
Yeah.
it's like, who would have thought that beer distilleries would be the big thing now? It's like you can't
Right.
even
Yeah.
think about starting one because there's just so many.
There's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many.
And Abita goes,
It's so
"Oh,
true.
we got 10 minutes before the tour. Drink as much as you want, and then we'll go on the tour."
Exactly.
Okay. So, can you bring weed back with you when you come here? As part of
No,
it?
never.
Can't do
That's a
that.
tough thing.
No,
It's a tough
it's
thing. you know.
illegal.
Yeah, it is.
They had a big article where movie stars like who's the woman who's gay and she's the coolest singer, and Melissa Etheridge. She said I have to hide at certain places because on a plane it's still a tacky thing. But you think a star like that would, and she has a medical marijuana card, but
Yeah, but it
still
doesn't
you
mean
can't-
anything
care.
once you get out of California, right?
But I would love to have the first like Rosa Parks case where you have a person from Colorado comes down here with a medical marijuana card
Okay.
and says,
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke it, and what are you going to do about it? And that could create a constitutional crisis because you're supposed to allow that person from Colorado to do whatever
Right.
they want in another state. Like a gay marriage should be honored in this state. So,
Yeah.
but people
Yeah.
don't want to get arrested. It's kind of a bum. They don't want to lose their career. They don't want to lose their job. So we haven't
Absolutely.
found the Rosa Parks yet.
Are you
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
for a volunteer for that?
Maybe
Well,
your grandma.
Yeah, you know, we're
We're
under
looking
the-
for a veteran. Here's
yeah.
anybody out there. We're looking for a veteran that has cancer or recovering,
Yes.
has
Yeah,
a card,
yeah.
and is from
Yeah.
Washington
What's up?
State or
Right.
Seattle.
Yeah, but still
Help
be a
with
good
PTSD.
person, please.
What's up?
Yes.
So what's up?
Yeah,
What's
I
up
don't want
with
you to have any
grandma?
record. I don't want you to be like
uh-huh.
a habitual-
yeah, 3 strikes, man, you're out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what's up with grandma? She likes to smoke pot?
No, I had a grandma. She did just pass away a week ago,
Oh.
but
Oh, no.
she was in
Amen.
unbearable pain, and my parents thought we should try marijuana.
Absolutely.
And it helped for the last 3 or so months that she was doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, but
little
I
suckers.
believe that is maybe the reason it is not legal, because it will put all the medicinal
Pharmaceutical
Thank you.
companies.
Thank you. No,
Out
we
of
got
business.
people dying of opiates, and they won't
Oh,
try it out on
thank
people
you.
with Alzheimer's. They
Yeah.
won't
Oh
try
my
it out on people
gosh.
like your
Yeah,
grandmother. I mean,
because
The
it'll
opiate
put them
problem is
all
so
out of
huge.
business. Yeah,
How
Do you really
angry.
think?
yeah,
Do you really think weed is going to put like Pfizer and
yeah.
well, it'll
I
definitely cut
doubt
down
it.
on the profits. It'll cut down
I
on the
don't think
profits.
It's 8
so.
times
It's not that
cheaper.
good.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I love
You've
pot,
heard
but
just
it's not
recently
gonna
that
cure
the
cancer.
companies, it's like the tobacco lawsuit, the companies have been shown that they are overprescribing people, and they put the expiration
Oh,
date
wow.
on it shorter, even though you could probably use the pills later, but they want you to buy more pills.
Yeah. But that's what they say about yogurt as well, right? I mean, there's an expiration date on everything.
Right
That's
on.
Probably
right.
bullshit.
You know, we got to loosen these regulations. We got to talk to Donald
No,
Trump.
yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. These regulations are too tight, Donald.
Yeah, you just got to show him the paycheck.
And speaking
and then
of
he'll do it.
Donald, not
yeah.
to get into politics, but Donald says he's got the record for the most bills that have been passed, and he signed. Even though the bills are like how many toilets are in the post office, and he signed the most bills. He says.
Hey.
So I think
Yeah.
she's up on that. Better than me.
Is there?
Don't
Is
compare me to the toilets record. Okay. Let's stay away from that.
But he got a real record, not like his fake record.
do all these have a green background? All these paintings, or just these 4 we have in front of us? Or do
90,
all you?
well, this one doesn't. But
Is that a fleur-de-lis
No,
on
but
the
they're all
top? Is
green
that
on
like,
top.
is that fleur-de-lis?
Yeah, all the-
so
all
they
the
all
fleur-
have
always a
fleur-de-lis.
fleur-de-lis.
Okay,
All
so
right.
how much weed are you smoking to get through these 20,000?
it takes about 3 hours at a time, just sitting. Sitting and
Do
sitting.
you smoke
yeah.
pot while you're doing this, or what?
No, I
Maybe it's
don't. I
peyote.
like to
None.
see what that would look
Are
like.
you kidding? You've done 20,000 paintings and you've never smoked any weed.
Not while I've done
That's
this. No.
so hard to believe.
No.
And you're under oath.
Not once.
Really?
Not
What,
what I
what do you
remember.
do? You just concentrate?
Yeah. I kind
mean,
of enjoy it.
She
I
loves
find it
life.
relaxing.
She loves life.
Is that possible, David? Can you do that? How much weed do you smoke a day?
I
You're
would
a
say
lawyer,
I'm in the
actually, by
eating.
the way.
I'm in the eating, and you know, I'm coming out of the closet on this show. Thank you, Graham LaPlanche. I love that. But yeah, I actually I'm ready to show a lot of people that there are things that I do that are completely legal, but They are not legal. I mean, it's like you can
You
have
are,
the.
you are a lawyer, right?
I am
So
a lawyer. I
something
play one on
believe is
TV,
either
but
legal or not legal. So you can't be legal and
Well,
not legal.
if I am in the privacy of my own home, doing whatever I want, Supreme Court says that I can have sex in the ass with anybody I want, and that's totally legal.
As
then
long as
I can't
have
smoke
to,
a joint in
well,
my
they
own
have
house.
to agree to that, though.
No,
right?
Supreme Court said that. Famous
No, but I
case
mean
in
the
Texas.
person who's asked you.
Yeah.
Oh
having
yeah, it has to be
sex in
consensual.
has
Has to be
agree.
consensual.
Right.
yes. So
Okay,
if
so
I
that's-
can have
Even in
anal sex
Texas?
in my house. Yeah, in Texas, right. But if I can have
So
anal
you
sex
can
in my
clear-
own house,
you can,
and
yes.
but I can't smoke a joint. There's some constitutional crisis going on there. I think that's what I think.
Now, why
Maybe if I'm
waiting?
smoking a joint and having anal sex at the same time.
why are you comparing anal sex?
Because
to
the Supreme Court case, that was a test case.
Are
See,
you
a lot of
saying
these
that-
cases,
Scatological.
Are you
test
saying
cases-
that anal
toilets
sex is
and
like
anal
a sort of
the
weird out?
ACLU put a case together of two gay men and wanted them to tell the police that they're having anal sex in that house. The police came in the house, arrested them, and when they went to Supreme Court, unanimously the Supreme Court said they can do whatever they want in their own home, and you didn't have probable cause to go in their house. That's the case. That's
Well,
a
hang on,
historic
but wasn't
case.
there a federal law at some point that said anal sex was illegal?
No federal
There
law.
never was. a
Nope, there
federal
never
law.
was. That's a good
so
question.
why did
So-
people get arrested for having anal sex? And if they
Because
did?
in state laws, bestiality and
Okay.
crime against nature, it's still a law against the law to have a blowjob in Louisiana, but you can have intercourse in public, and it's not a felony. But if you have a
when you say
blowjob
in
or
public, meaning
public?
here,
if you have a blowjob
Really?
in here,
Interesting
it
development.
is considered still a felony. But if you have intercourse in here, it would be a misdemeanor because it's not a crime against nature. Nature wants you to have intercourse and not a blowjob. See, it's against nature.
Wow.
And actually, you could
What the
have
hell
been a
is there
sex
feels
offender.
about it?
As of 5 years ago, you could have been a sex offender for having a blowjob or any kind of unnatural sex. And I've had clients that were sex offenders because it's horrible. But those
I'm
are
not,
the
I'm not
draconian
following
laws.
this entirely. You guys keeping
so
up with
lost.
this? You can
I'm
you can
trying.
get a blowjob now.
You
And
cannot have a blowjob in public without being arrested for crime against nature.
that's a
Wait,
serious
can I
crime.
ask a question?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, Grace.
What does this have to do with weed?
We're getting to that.
No,
right?
weed makes sex feel better.
But the analogy is that with all these horrible laws out there, and the fact that you're legalizing, and I don't want to say anything about the abortion issue, but I can advise I can get
Thank God
advice
we're
from
onto
my
abortion.
doctor that I can terminate my pregnancy, but I can't smoke a joint in my house.
Yeah.
But I actually think
you
that
know,
Planned Parenthood is the greatest thing in the world because of all the things they've done over the years. But there are states that still ban people from advising with their doctor or talking about pregnancy. And if you want to have an abortion after 6 months, there's some states that you could go to jail, but you still can't smoke a joint.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
what society is, isn't it? It's we decide on these various
Thank
rules,
you.
and for some reason, we've decided that pot is naughty.
And that's
But
based on
doctors-
1935. I'm pretty sure it had to do with racism, reefer madness, and it had to do with the fact that alcohol became legal, and it was easier to definitely make this demonized and illegal. And
But
jazz
would you
musicians were smoking
would you
it.
say the same thing about cocaine? Would you want cocaine to be
Now that's a good
legalized?
question. Is
Or
that
heroin?
coca leaves, which half of South America uses every day the way we use coffee, but because of the whole issue of the trade and narcotics and guns, the Pope even drank coca tea when he was on the plane flying from Colombia. So we're demonizing these drugs in a way that since the war on drugs, we've got to do something about it. But I'm not advocating people just being using cocaine, but let farmers grow whatever they want. Let's finally let farmers decide what's better for them, and they are trying to reduce the amount of cocaine and coca by having other crops. But let's not demonize marijuana by bringing in other drugs.
But there's people who love cocaine.
There's people who love alcohol
heroin.
and tobacco
Right.
and caffeine.
So
and
why can't? So what is the big deal about? You happen to like pot.
I think you should get a
happen to think
prescription. I
pot
think you
is
should get a
awesome.
prescription for cocaine. If you need it that badly,
now
have a
before.
doctor to
Regulate.
if you need
Well,
it.
that's now,
Everything should be regular. I'm for
this is
regulation.
what-
I want
this is
marijuana to
what
be
the-
regulated
This is
too.
what the anti-pot people are scared of, though, is that crazy people like you who are going to say, now that we've legalized pot, now I should get a prescription for cocaine as well.
No, what
and
they're
then I'm
scared
going to
of
be
is
able to
not-
marry my dog next.
I can get a
Thank you.
prescription
That's-
for hydrocodone 1025. I can
Yeah.
go into a liquor store
Opiates.
and I could drink grain alcohol and go blind in 20 minutes. But I can't smoke a joint in my own house.
Yeah,
Wow.
what they're scared of is that they don't know what it is. they all think marijuana is cocaine or it is heroin.
Right, it's
but
drugs.
it's very
It's all
different.
drugs.
But it's
Yeah.
so easy to demonize anything.
It
You can
is.
demonize adult entertainment, and I represent a lot of adult entertainers. And in this city, it's very
Hang on a
natural,
minute.
but in other cities, it's just something
When
out
you
of.
say you represent adult entertainers,
I represent adult
as what?
entertainers.
You're their attorney?
Yes, I represent them in child support issues. I represent them in traffic tickets, and they go to
Wow.
work every day, and they're in
What
the
are
adult
they,
entertainment
What
industry.
are they doing?
Yeah.
They're having, this is porn actors or something?
They are either dancers, or they're bartenders, or they're guys on the street getting you to lure in, or they're managers at a bar, or the woman who owns several clubs
No,
in
we have a
French
different
Quarters.
definition of adult entertainment. I thought we were talking about making porno movies.
Well, I mean, that's
Do we
part
have-
of it. I don't represent. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do, but I mean, people who do that.
Maybe you
there's
do.
legal things that you do that.
Well, I
maybe-
didn't know we had a porn industry here.
I
but
represent sanitation workers. That's an ugly business. It's kind of smelly too. But
So how do you get
I
these
don't
clients?
judge people
Yeah.
for people
Right,
who
right,
whatever
right.
they do.
Exactly. Okay, now we've got two things to do. One thing, first of all, we have to talk about a word from our sponsors, and then we have to listen to some music from Roar.
From Roar.
We just
R-O-A.
have
Have
to.
I
to.
can't wait.
Just have to.
And that's not an acronym. There's no acronym there. It's just roar.
Just
Roar,
roar,
with
yeah.
an exclamation mark, but you don't need to look that up. If you want to look this up, it's just roartheduo.com.
RoarTheDuo.com.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a long name.
How'd you come up with the name?
We're a duo, and
So there's
Roar,
two of you.
and yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's how you did it. All right. Like I said, today's
That
show
went
is
right
brought
over
to
my
us.
head, man.
Today's show is brought to us by
complicated.
Basics Swim and Gym, where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits. It's funny when you can't. Can you hear yourself properly through these headphones?
In one ear.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. You can get a bikini, a one-piece, cover-ups, everything you need for the beach, and poolside is at Basics Swim and Gym. It's right next to Basics Lingerie Store. Basics underneath on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. And also thank you to our friends at Hangover Destroyer, which we have a box of on the table right here. Please help yourself to as many Hangover Destroyers as you'd like. It's the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. If you go to the Hangover Destroyer website, it's hdestroyer.com, and you write the words happy hour and the coupon code, you'll get 30% off of your first order of Hangover Destroyer, so you too can
Gluten-free.
seize the dawn. It's gluten-free, I think, vegan. It's tested on humans, not animals. If you want some, David, I don't know if it works for weed or not.
You don't get a hangover from weed.
See? Another good reason to smoke more weed.
I wonder if you take it before or after.
I
You can
think
do
you
it before,
can.
during,
I
and
think you
after.
can
Okay.
be mind altering. I think you
Take a
can
handful.
overdo it.
Yeah.
Does your husband smoke
I'm not
pot?
married.
You're not married? Are you single?
Yes. And I
You're
don't
the-
need therapy.
Come on. So you're single and you're the most prolific artist in the world. You must be quite a catch.
Absolutely.
So,
Freaking
Yes.
totally.
Yes.
so what happened to David Bergeron was long gone.
Yes.
So
Dan
what
Bergeron.
Dan Bergeron,
Yeah.
sorry. What happened after Dan then? Who came next?
You want names, numbers, phone numbers? What do you want here?
Well, we could start off with something general, like what sex were they?
Oh, they were male.
All men.
They were male.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many have there been in the last?
There's been a few.
How many? When was that? How long ago was the last one?
This is like jumping through 7 hoops
Yeah.
here.
TMZ.
It's only one hoop so far. So there's 6 hoops to go, and then you're off the hook.
Okay. What was the question?
What happened to the last Mr. Fry?
Oh, okay.
He left after
Was he
10,000.
allergic to paint?
10,000, he
Oh,
left.
what number? What
Was
number
his
did
after
he?
He's still
15,000
alive.
hits
I don't
genius.
know.
Question, dude. What number were you up to when that guy?
Oh my gosh. 20,000.
He made it all the way to 20,000.
Wow. Each artist, each piece of art represents.
Now I want an award.
something. That's right.
That is just
I
a
want a
great
word
way to
there.
look at your life, though. What number painting did you keep? How did you keep track of what number you're up to?
I counted.
So every time you did a painting
That's
from number
incredible.
one.
No,
That's
I did it like
incredible.
three times a year. I'd go back and
Okay.
count them up.
Wow.
How do you know? Because I guess you have to have these little things made, the
Yeah.
canvases.
And I make them to order, so they're already
Right.
sold when they're made.
Wow.
Are you
So,
serious?
Yeah.
So
So,
you're
That's
wealthy as
incredible.
well.
I'm wealthy. No, I'm not wealthy.
$40. How many are there, guys?
40 times 20,000.
20,000 times 40
Who's
bucks.
good at this?
Somebody
I-
figure that out. That's 8 million, I think.
Wow.
Now the IRS is going to be after.
Here we go. I pay my taxes.
What's 20,000? What's 20,000 times 40? 800,000.
There you go.
Is that almost $1 million?
There you go.
Must be.
And how long did it take you to paint that?
It's been, oh God, I forgot, 8-9 years. It's been since
you made
2010.
so
yeah.
you've made over $100,000 a year off these little tiny paintings.
Not bad, huh?
Beautiful paintings. You're missing the.
Yeah, but I've
the
had
best
20,000
head
criminal
there.
cases and I'm broke. So I don't know what that's about.
Really? Do you?
You're a defense attorney, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why.
I have to say, people have a mess or somebody in their family, but it's amazing. I should do that. I should keep track of these cases and just
Start counting.
Yeah.
We're at 1.5 records. We've been counting.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought records up because we're going to take a listen to something right now.
How many studio sessions have
What
you
are we?
had?
What are,
yeah. How many records with
how many
other
gigs
bands have we made? A lot
How
more.
many
but-
gigs have you been on? So let's take a listen to something off. Was this the new record or the last record?
This is the newest one.
The
yeah.
newest.
It came out in October of 2016.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
almost a year old.
And it's called what?
La-di-da.
La-di-da. Okay. Is this the one with water on it?
It
This, I
is.
believe,
Okay.
Water is the first song we are going to be
Okay.
playing.
Let's take a listen to that. Is a great little video that you guys have made
Oh,
from
thank
water.
you.
Very, very cool. It's
Thank
like a sort of country-yourself underwater.
Exactly.
Oh,
Jacques
that's awesome.
Cousteau
I can see you guys
experience.
Yeah.
doing a good video.
Uh-huh.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
With the
Very
idea
cool.
of Mardi Gras costumes.
Yeah.
But they're fish. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see people holding up little squids. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, there's a friend of mine named Patsy Grace that she wrote a song named La Di Da. Are we going to have any infringement,
she?
copyright things? Or?
Oh, I don't think you
It's
can
just
Can't
copyright
copyright a
words
title.
like
No,
that.
no. Don't worry about that.
You're the lawyer here.
Yeah.
Where can you see the video?
Oh, on YouTube.
on- Oh,
Again,
right.
if
Or on
you
our
just
website.
search Roar Water or roartheduo.com.
Yeah, roartheduo.com.
Good.
Oh, that sounds good, man.
Does that sound
The
really
underwater
loud?
bubbles sound effect.
It's not too loud?
It's good to me.
No, it's
Okay.
Swimming through all the seaweed, tickling toes from beneath me, hanging in the sea. I feel free. Poking my head out of the water, sunny shimmer right by the room. We have sky blue, watching the clouds move.
Feel the jellyfish.
Let it be noted that everyone in here is now dancing to our music.
On the tables.
I thought that was on the record.
You know, it's got a little B-52s, if that's not insulting, but I love the B-52s.
Yeah.
It's got that
nice.
kind of a...
Awesome.
thank you.
Fantastic. I'll be
Yeah.
compared to an arena band any day.
We quote
It's like that song Rome, you know, when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mercury.
Totally.
How would you describe it, the music that you do?
What's your genre?
We call it alternative electronic.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alternative electronics.
Sounded great.
Yeah, happy, shiny, happy people.
Can we turn it down a wee bit? Is that going down?
Yeah,
I
we
can't
can turn
hear
it
it.
down.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, that's better.
I don't know. Is that going down on your headphones?
A little bit.
Is it?
It sounds
Yeah.
like it's fading out now.
I can't hear it
We
at
can
all.
fade it out. Oh, she can't hear it.
I can't
That's
hear
it.
it.
Oh,
You
there,
can't hear a
perfect.
thing?
I can't hear it now.
Are you
Now it's
kidding?
going
I can
Okay.
hear
You
you.
can only hear me. You can't hear the music.
hear the music.
Oh, that is mysterious.
We
You can't-
specifically designed the record for under 30. There's frequencies you can hear. And,
I
yeah.
thought somebody drowned. You know?
I'm gonna have to
that-
slap him.
Oh no, everyone here is under 30. So
That is
yeah.
really
Uh-huh.
cool sound, isn't it, you guys?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's very interesting. It's sort of poppy
Yeah, very
and sort of blondie like.
awesome.
Oh.
And what
I
else
love
would you
that.
say? You
Huh.
said B-52s, David,
Yeah,
which is.
Nice.
kind of a...
I thought, you know what I thought when I first saw the video? It reminded me of the Carpenters.
Yeah, well,
Really?
you know, hey, I
Oh,
love the Carpenters.
That's
I love them.
awesome.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
love the Carpenters?
I love
Yeah.
that one video they do with the barbershop.
I don't know that
I think
one.
I'm being the Carpenters.
Yeah, I bet you are.
But
maybe.
who played who was the band where he played the drums and she sang? There was someone else. Was
Oh, that
it?
was the
Oh.
opposite. The Carpenters wasn't
But
it?
he-
She played the drums.
she
didn't
played
she?
the
Played
drums
the
in the
drums. Yeah.
Carpenters.
Oh, you're
So-
thinking of,
Cool.
Oh, White
Annie
Stripes.
Lennox
Oh, no.
and you're thinking of
Dave
Annie
Stewart.
Lennox and the guy.
Dave Stewart.
Yeah.
What about the Captain and Tennille?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, you were-
that's
you
were
what I was
thinking of
thinking.
Captain.
You know
no,
that?
she doesn't tell it, but that's what I was thinking.
Do
he
you
was
know the
thinking.
Captain and Tennille, you guys?
I mean,
Uh-uh,
hey,
I
put
don't
me in
know
the
them.
water.
Ah.
Yeah.
What was this song?
But no,
What was it?
Oh, I
You
don't
know-
Love will keep
I
us
don't know.
together.
Love
Yeah,
will
Love
keep
Will
us
Keep-
together.
Oh, you're
Think of me,
good.
baby,
Yeah.
whenever. Yeah.
Excellent. You don't know the Captain and Tennille?
No.
Oh, we have to take a listen to that. We can
That's because you're under 30.
we can dredge that up. They were huge at one point. I don't know
What
when
is
that
it called?
was. the captain.
The captain.
That was a guy.
And Tennille.
That was
and
a guy.
Tennille, and her name was Tony Tennille.
Tony Tennille,
Neil.
yeah.
And they had a huge. What was the name of the song?
Love will keep us
Love
together.
will keep us together. You
Yeah.
must
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Love will keep us
That's
together.
right.
Yeah.
See, I'm not the singer in the band. Yeah.
What do you do other than play
I
the
play
drums? You must
so
program all
yeah,
this.
you heard all those keyboards and all
Yeah.
that. I like to cue those live. So I have a little sampler with a bunch of buttons on it, and I'll cue those as I'm playing the drum set as well.
This
so,
is a high-tech kind of a thing. So if we go to see you play, which we can do,
yes, September
at
9th
One Eye Jacks.
at One Eye Jacks.
Oh, all right.
September the
Yes.
9th, 2017, by the way. If you're listening to
Yes,
this and you're
yes.
wondering.
This year.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yes.
sometimes people listen to these podcasts a long time after we release them. So
Oh.
if you're listening to this after September the 9th, 2017,
Makes sense.
you could
Yeah.
go to Raw the Duo.
Yeah, or you can probably see us
.com.
at the
Find out.
Superdome or
Yeah,
any one of those
exactly.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Normo Dome.
yeah.
Okay, so who are you playing with on September the 9th?
It
Just
is
you
our,
guys?
our headlining show. We have a
Okay.
band that we know from Nashville, Tennessee, that we're
Well, we
bringing
met
out.
them in Nashville, but they're from Chattanooga. They're
Oh.
called Kerchief.
Oh, really?
Kerchief, like
yeah,
That's
they're a
awesome.
band.
Yeah.
Nashville's the placement. I just came
Yeah.
visit
Oh,
my
really?
friend's
Oh,
writing
wow.
country music songs.
Yeah.
She's trying to get in the
nice.
business.
Oh, wow.
It's such a
It's a
great
whole
scene.
world thing.
Yeah.
You got to get the
Yeah.
agent. You got to get
Yeah.
the songs.
Uh-huh.
You got to get it
Yeah.
together. The
Yep.
musicians.
Yeah, that's actually where we recorded our record. It was really funny. We were touring with a band there, and the sound guy loved us, and he'd just gotten off the road with Death from Above 1979, and he'd been on the road with Bonnie Raitt and stuff, and he wanted to record bands, and he said, I would love to bring you guys up here and record you, and that's our
Yeah.
producer, Tim Craven, on that last record, and he produced and recorded it. Had so much fun.
Amazing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tim Craven, if you listen to this, Laura Miller. Laura Miller's my friend.
Oh.
Look at her.
Yeah, maybe he
You
knows
might
her,
know
right?
her.
Nashville's a small
Totally.
town, you know?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
it is. It is
Yeah.
funny. But Brooks and Dunn, the guy Lonnie Dunn,
Oh,
he's like
yeah.
playing in a local band, so he could be at the local
Wow.
bar hanging out,
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about Nashville.
just like our town. We got
yeah.
Kermit Ruffin,
Yeah, just like
Yes.
us.
and they have a sign at the
Exactly.
Rock and Roll.
Show
Have you
up,
ever seen
yeah.
the sign at the Rock and Roll that says "No smoking"? No smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
and then that means you, Kermit. You can't smoke anything else.
It says that? It actually
It says that means you, Kermit.
That's great.
Only cigarettes. That's what it says. Or something. And he's met the president. He's met two
Oh.
presidents, Obama and
Wow.
Bush. And I think he
Wow.
smoked at the White House. I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably with Obama.
Well, he
No,
smoked in
no,
high school,
That's
but
illegal. Just kidding.
well, but
Are
he
you-
said on Jay Leno when they said, "Did you inhale?" And he said, "I thought that's the point." You know, kind of a.
Are you representing Kermit Ruffins, by the way?
No, I don't.
You
but,
might be after
Mark Samuels does that pretty well with Basin
Okay.
Street Records.
Is he an attorney, Mark Samuels, as well as owning a record company?
No, Mark
Because-
Samuels is not. But
So
he
Kermit
he
doesn't
kinda
have
knows
an
a lot of
attorney.
things. He does. He has several attorneys, I'm sure. But as people say, they think I'm a funeral home director. I'm not going to need one. I bet you that Kermit doesn't need an attorney. I said, well, maybe you need me when you hit the lottery and you want to advise you on your money or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Did Big
Yeah.
Frida need one? I'm not sure.
Big Frida sure did. She sure did need one.
Carly, I'm trying to think of how to describe your voice. It's
Oh,
it's kind of
thank you.
breathy and it's
Uh-huh.
there's something just really playful and
Yeah,
just sweet
totally.
about it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
Let's
Very
hear,
good,
let's
nice
hear a bit
voice,
of something
yeah.
else. What do you think?
Yeah,
Let's hear a
sure.
bit of
And you
another
can
one.
go to the second track if you feel like it.
What's this one?
Orange Peaches.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice too. Okay.
Mhm.
How do you come up with the name of a song? How does that? Does it just hit
Oh,
you?
it's an
Or
epiphany. I don't know.
Totally a Michael
Yeah.
Scott.
like Eat a Peach and the Allman Brothers?
Epiphany,
Yeah, my brother got hit by a peach truck, and so I named it Eat a Peach.
Actually, yes. How did you know?
Yeah.
That's what the song is about.
You almost got hit by an
Yeah.
orange peach truck.
Yeah.
That's funny. Ooh, that trombone. Look at that. I mean,
And that's you playing the
That was
trombone.
you?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
wow.
She'll
That's
pick
pretty
it up,
big
play,
instrument.
and then put it down and start singing.
And I grew up playing mallet instruments as well, so I'm playing an electronic xylophone on the song while
Ooh.
singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
You guys are amazing.
And you guys have been here how long?
I've been here 9 years.
Did you
Right.
you're familiar with the Radiators, the famous
Oh, yeah.
band?
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of songs with the xylophone.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're broken up, so I kind of find ways to get them back together.
Oh,
whatever, but-
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I haven't heard a xylophone like that since the
Nice.
Rats.
It's fun.
Wow, like a second line in there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The trombone growls and steal a lot from that.
Yeah.
We actually did a music video where we drew chalk, like the lyrics in chalk all around the city. We went up to the Fly and did some up there and down by Parks by us and stuff.
Yeah, super fun.
It was really fun.
It's hard to listen to this and not believe this is going to be gigantic.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Isn't
so
it?
sweet.
Don't you think?
Thank you.
I love
Doesn't
it.
this-
I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Doesn't this just have like gigantic hit commercial?
That's what we're going
Yeah,
for.
that's what we're going
Yeah.
for. I always thought this song could be in like a coffee commercial, like orange peaches, blue velvet.
It's
coffee.
just such.
Morning.
Yeah.
It's just such feel good. You know the guys in Royal Teeth.
Oh
Yes,
yeah. We
we
actually
did
did
a
a show
show.
with them at Picasso, just up the street.
Yeah.
They've got the same kind of an
yeah.
approach
Uh-huh.
to music, and
Definitely.
Absolutely.
they've
Yeah.
really taken off. And
They really
Yeah,
have.
uh-huh.
If you'll forgive me for saying so, y'all are both so cute.
Oh.
I could see how people would just want to show up and
Forgive
look
me.
at you.
Yeah, and you should see her on stage. She just
I
jumps
bet.
around everywhere.
Jax, what do you mean by cute?
I don't know. They're just so bright and shiny.
That's right.
You know?
I like
And
that.
good
That's
looking,
the best.
you know?
Yeah.
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 And do you have day jobs, or can you make a living out of this?
Oh, we make a living at this.
This is pretty
Yeah.
impressive
That's great.
stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the benefits of being a duo is that we can make a living at
Yeah.
this.
There's
yeah.
only two of you to
Uh-huh.
pay.
Yeah, same
Right.
amount of money as
Sometimes we
other
wonder how
bands.
people
Yeah.
There's two
have
of us.
more band members.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
How
what,
they can
what
afford
about
to.
management and stuff? Do you have a manager?
We're
not right
currently
now.
looking for a manager.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Well,
If anyone
well.
wants- David, you're not doing much.
I don't actually. This is a funny story, but Jeff Chaz, if you're listening or anybody, he's a 65-year-old blues guitarist who's kind of one step away from homelessness, but he's got a great show at the Blue Nile on Monday nights, and
Oh,
I'm
nice.
trying to get him promoted. But this is a tough business to be a manager. It's
Yeah.
full time.
Yeah.
That's why I can't help him
Absolutely.
Yeah.
because he needs somebody to all the time be pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
So you need to
Exactly.
start interviewing some folks.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Are you talking to people, or?
Yeah, we've
are
been
there-
talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah, we have.
Uh-huh, definitely. Just trying to find the right fit. You know,
Yeah.
you want somebody that loves you
Right.
as
And
much
we're
as
trying to get
yeah.
one of those live, like KXP or some kind of radio station where they do live in the studio and there's a bunch of YouTube followers, or a radio station where managers are listening in and looking for new bands. That's where we're really trying to focus our energy because
Yeah.
we've heard a lot of people have luck doing it that
Does
way.
radio still have any impact on?
It
the
does.
music?
It does.
Certain
Look at,
radio stations,
Revivalists
like the NPR.
have
Oh,
a
yeah.
hit. Yeah,
Okay.
they're blowing up right now because of Wish I Knew You on the radio. And because
Yeah.
they're awesome, but because of that song,
I
they're
was-
doing extra well.
And so, how does it work on radio now? Do you have to? Because all these stations are owned by the same company.
Yes.
He's asking, do you have to
It's
bribe
crazy.
people? Like, what are you going to do
Yes,
to get
well,
that?
Yeah.
if we do have to bribe people, we'd like to know the right people to
Right.
bribe. So please
right,
call
right,
us,
right.
roartheduo.com. Please.
How much? How much have you got
Labels
on
can
you?
help
Yeah.
you.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. There's only like one or two people to bribe now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
One
hopefully,
guy
yeah.
is programming it.
Yeah. Yeah, the less people, the more the money goes up.
Less
What's
people
the
and more
right?
bands.
What's the
yeah.
blowjob deal on that, David? Can you give it?
Oh, we are anti blowjob.
I think that's I think that's
DJ
freedom of
calls.
contract. I think that's you're allowed to
Absolutely
freedom of
I
contract.
don't want to say I made it because I gave the right guy a blowjob. That'd be nice.
You don't
yeah.
tell anybody
the
that.
couch.
Oh yeah, but you
They
still
know.
know the
It's
artist.
implied.
Casting couch.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh, wow.
implied. Yeah.
Now, is it true, Mr. Bergeron, about Queen and his band? Where did I hear some band that they did something in the 70s where everybody got the head guy? Or is there any truth
No
to any
pun
of those?
intended.
No pun intended.
What
I
do you
mean, there
mean?
were certain bands that you could tell, is that guy doing his band, or is that like
Wow.
Fleetwood Mac was obviously so public. They
Yeah.
got together, they divorced, they even sang it, they even hated each other
Right.
on the
Yeah.
stage when they did that.
Yeah.
So when you guys have spats and stuff, you could create a song out of that, you know.
Yeah, we can even
Yeah.
pretend to make a spat. Oh, right now, roar.
And then makeup, and then roar,
Yeah,
roar,
roar.
and that's how. That's right.
That's a good point. Where there's only two of you, you have to get along. I guess you can't. You can't go
Oh, it's
bitch to someone
very
else in the band.
difficult. Oh, it's so
We got
difficult
the
to get
same
along.
How's the
brain.
tour bus? How's the partying? You know, the tour bus?
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
We
amazing.
go to our
yeah.
hotel and fall asleep.
Yeah, we're those kind of people. I mean, we party every night,
Yeah.
you know, totally do drugs.
crazy.
Yeah,
No,
Uh,
not any of
That
that.
could be a hotel commercial, you know, like instead of
Yeah.
leave a light on,
Yeah.
like follow roar.
Yeah.
to the
yeah,
next hotel.
yeah.
So
Follow us
the
To the next
party at the
Marriott, you
king-size
know, or
bed.
Hilton. Come on, give us those nice premium hotels, right?
So the plan for world domination begins with getting on a radio station that has a live online component.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a YouTube
And
following.
you came
It's all
up with that
about
idea
YouTube.
yourselves without a manager.
I mean, we've just kind of done it by osmosis and seeing how other bands have made it. And like Tank and the Bangas, they got the NPR Tiny
Right.
Desk, and it's done wonders for them, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just one way. There's so many paths
Yeah,
to
plus,
the same place.
you know, we've
but-
done the touring thing with other bands, and even this band, we did heavy touring for a year and a
Yeah.
half, 2 years, and
Wow, wow.
you just kind of
Yeah.
notice it doesn't take off like when you put a new music video off.
You get the right
you
PR.
See, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you get a gig like I see that you opened for George Clinton and P-Funk?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So how do you get a gig like that? I mean,
That's
what-
a great question.
We knew the booking agent at the venue, and we told them we'd like to come in this time, and they said, "Oh, we think you guys would be great opening for George Clinton."
Really?
So yeah,
Can't even
uh-huh.
imagine what kind of person would have thought that.
Yeah.
What's the connection?
Well, we used to be more of a funk band, and I
Ah.
believe that is what they had heard us with. So then they thought we
So
might
we
be
rebranded.
better with that. And then,
Surprise.
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
surprise.
that was our old band, and now our new band is very different and
Yeah.
more
That's
like the
great.
indie rock, electronic, alternative kind of
The
world.
Carpenters.
Yeah, Radiohead, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this.
That is
Bjork.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how do you describe yourselves when you have to sell yourself to people? What do you describe the music
We
as?
say alternative electronic from New Orleans.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good. That's a
Uh-huh.
good sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it kind of implies the trombone and
Right.
his samples, but we still have live elements. It's not
Who's
completely
texting you?
electronic. Emily, our amazing PR person from Bon Maroc, is texting us.
Emily Remsnyder.
She
we
wants
love
us to
her.
make
She's
sure
the
we
greatest.
mention our show
Okay.
September 9th at
Wasn't
One
she-
Eye Jack.
Oh,
That's
well,
right, that's
If
good.
she was
Yeah.
Have you
listening,
heard of
She's
Davis
she would
Rogan?
know.
Davis Rogan used to be in
She's
this
the
group called
bomb.
All
Anyone
That,
who needs
kind of
PR
a hip hop
should hire her.
kind of a thing in the 90s,
Oh,
and now he
wow.
does his own thing. But he would get second line groups to come behind him, and then he would do a kind of thing. And do you ever use like second line people in your?
We haven't. Carly has second line before.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
the first year I lived down here, I was in a couple Mardi Gras parades, the second line, and we were in a brass band.
Yeah.
And
Were you?
that's
The
really
two of you were in a brass band.
we were.
Yeah,
we
Which
were
one?
not
Booty
just
Trove.
the two of us.
Yeah,
yeah.
bunch of
It was
other-
called Booty Trove. It's back
Yeah.
in our, like with
When-
some Loyola people. Yeah,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
attended Loyola for a year. Both
So,
of us
but I
did.
feel like
That's
I
enough for music
take
education.
that second line
For us,
trombone
yes.
sound and transfer it into our music. It's very much how I love to play trombone, and it's really similar actually to a lot of Latin and salsa playing of trombone, and that's my favorite. Just
Yeah.
a super powerful.
Been a lot
Yeah.
of evolution.
Out there. Yeah,
it
a
is
lot
really
of
fun too. We
evolution.
both love Galactic a lot, and
Yeah.
we know
Oh,
them
yeah,
very
I
well.
could
They're
tell
very
that.
good
I could
friends,
tell that.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Carly's gotten to sit in with Corey Henry, Bo Money up there a couple times, and it was funny to watch Bo Money, a 6-foot black man play trombone, and then Carly, like a little 5'5"
I
white
would
girl,
love to see that.
up there. Next
Now the
to
question
him.
is, are you guys ready for Jazz Fest and Quint Davis? Are you guys?
Oh,
It's time.
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
time right
Oh,
now
yeah.
on this podcast
Uh-huh.
to say
Seriously.
Quint. Come on,
Hey,
man.
yeah.
come
Who
check
has-
us out.
Who's
Yeah.
giving
Wanna
Quinn a
meet you.
blowjob to get into jazz?
Adam.
Yeah.
All right.
Me all the
Poor
way.
Adam.
Hey, Quinn, I'm real attractive.
David, can you make a call for him? Until they get a full-time manager, you can call Jazz Fest and get that hooked up, right?
I would love to see local
only a
people
misdemeanor.
get more in the Jazz Fest
Yeah.
instead of a corporate bit. I would love
Yeah.
to see you guys do that.
Yeah, we did just get to play Buku Fest though, which is
All right.
really
Yeah,
fun.
that was
okay, that's
fantastic.
cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It was.
that was
All right.
really fun.
So, Jax, who are you taking to the gig on September 9th?
Oh dear. Let's see if
Her
dance
paintings,
free.
all 20,000 of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every painting.
So, have you sold these to 20,000 different people?
No, a lot of stores, a lot of galleries will pick up a whole bunch at a time.
But 20,000 people have bought these. I mean, unless the same person has bought 3 or 4,
They have.
principally.
Yeah, they make collections out of them.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they
So
kind
there's
of tell a
collectors?
story. You've got a New Orleans base
I
here.
went to Lucky
or-
Dogs,
There you go.
and then I went to
And the
Ada
crawfish.
Crawfish.
Yeah,
I
or
can
got
see-
married. I got
Texture
married
that
at the
comes out.
Got married to
cathedral.
Jackson.
Blah blah blah.
So
you
this
know.
crawfish
Yeah.
one is actually multimedia. It's got
Yeah,
like,
I
Yeah.
scoped them out with palette knives first.
Wow.
That's why they got a lot of
What's a
texture
palette
in them.
knife?
That's
It's
awesome.
a knife for
Oh,
painting.
wow, that crawfish
yeah.
one
Oh,
is awesome.
cool. Yeah, the crawfish one is
Palette
so
knife.
awesome.
Did you
40
used to
bucks.
use an oyster shucker back in the day before you
Never
had
tried
the
it.
palette? Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
can you? Is there any way to find these 20,000 people?
Not that I know of. It would. It would be.
Grayson is available actually for the rest of the week.
Go for it,
Why don't you do
baby.
the show an hour a week? He's got
Oh, let me
6
just
days.
pull my contact book up. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, how did you do with that with Dan Bergeron?
Dan Bergeron.
Any
I
luck?
don't know how to spell personal. We've never addressed
Did you graduate from Loyola, by the way? Seriously? You did. Tulane.
Oh God.
$60,000 a year and you can't spell Bergeron.
I can't spell Bergeron either. Yeah.
Are
you know,
you kidding?
if
Did you
Bergeron
graduate?
was, if it was a band name in today's day and age, it would be like BRGRN. You know, they just
With a like-
abbreviate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what is that band?
Text it.
Dance, like DNCE and all those
Management.
Bands. Yeah. MGMT.
Yeah.
That's the thing, the trend.
And
So
I
we
know there's
say
another
Bergeron
there's
has
a-
no vowels.
Yeah.
Bergeron has
Yeah.
yes. And there's, have you heard of a band called Phony People?
No.
That's PPL.
Oh.
Phony PPL. That's really
Phony
good. That's
PPL.
worth hearing too. Actually.
Oh man,
Huh.
Not
our
from
band's
here,
only
from you.
spelled ROAR. We were like, should we abbreviate it? We're like,
R.
you really can't. Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
OMG, GOP, WTF?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I bet
like
that's
that.
taken. You Google it, it's taken.
I saw it on
already.
the highway. That's where I came up with it.
I started an adventurers club called WTF. It's
Oh.
what the
Are
fun.
you si-
Yeah.
Fun.
Really?
What the fun? I love
My
it.
kid says, "Shut the front door." That's his new thing. Shut
Yeah.
the front door.
Hey, it's
How
better
old
than
is he?
the alternative.
How old is-
11.
He's 11. Yeah.
Jax, what do you mean you started a club?
Oh, a little group. Yeah, local women.
I
that-
want to be part. Oh, it's just women.
well, I don't know.
Okay.
It just is.
And
just worked out that way.
What do you do?
I don't know. Every month, somebody. It's a surprise, and somebody's in charge, and we show up wherever they tell us, and what they tell us to
That
wear.
sounds like this podcast. That
and
sounds
bring,
like-
it does, doesn't it?
Similar principle.
We're here at Wayfair with half-price drinks and half-price starters and bar fare.
3 hours every day.
3 hours, 3 to 6.
So how many girls are in the Adventurers?
There's 8 of us.
8.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good group.
nice.
Let's see.
That's
This
not
is our
really
third
a
month.
club. That's a bunch of friends.
Yeah, it's a group.
And is there another one? Somebody thought I read something about this in my extensive research here, but now
Yeah.
I had a whole
There's a
paragraph.
few.
Did you start some other club or something?
Yeah,
Where-
I started Women of Infinite Possibilities.
That's what it
Um,
is.
That's great.
Yeah, there's a.
Wh-
It's been going on about 6 years now, something like that, and it's just a group that meets once a month, and they have speakers, and it's just sort of empowering women.
People
and,
don't meet enough regularly. I'm a union organizer, former, and people don't get together enough. They get together to
Yeah.
do singing. People need to do that more.
I agree.
That's a problem in America. They don't get
Absolutely.
together with their friends. They don't get together. Don't go to churches or whatever. But that's a
Yeah.
great thing.
Yeah, I just read an
More
interesting
community.
book about that. It was called Touch. It was fiction, but it was fascinating, and it was just about how people are always on their phone, blah blah blah, and they're
That's
shutting
not fiction.
down,
Yeah.
and so it was more like trend predictions of what's going to happen, and maybe like in Japan, little things will show up where you can pay somebody to hug you. Or yeah,
hug
so
set.
I just thought I love that book. It was great.
Well, that's a good idea because all these idiots with the free hugs.
Hey, that's my
you could-
friend.
They
What-
could be,
You could
they
get
could
a
be
dollar.
making
Goes on.
money on this.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, you
missed
idiot, you should be
opportunity.
charging.
Yeah.
Are you a free hug guy, David?
I know the person who's very involved in it, and I
That-
love the fact that he's doing that. He's a very
I find that
loving.
very creepy.
I always wondered, have you ever gotten one of those? You're like, I kind of don't want to free hug that person.
No,
No,
everyone who
I
wears
didn't
that
really
free
think
hug
about it
thing
that
looks
way,
like
but
a
I
person
guess,
you don't want to hug,
You
in
know,
my opinion.
yeah.
It's kind of
I-
a cheap hug.
It could be like that,
But how much are they charging in Japan for hugging?
No, it's not there yet.
It's fiction.
Not there
You
yet.
guys should go to Japan. That's a really
we
good
would love
idea.
to.
We'd love to go to Japan. Managers out there, you have
Yes.
booking
Don't they
agents,
have hedgehog
promoters?
cafes where you can hold hedgehogs while you get coffee?
I don't know how much of this crap online is true, but I saw that too.
Yes. It's online. It's gotta
It's got to
be.
be true. All right. Talking of online, it's time for us to get offline.
Ah,
We've got to get out of here. It's
we're
been
just
the whole
having fun,
hour.
man.
Oh my
We
god.
Thank
didn't,
you,
even
man.
we didn't get on to union organizing. That was a good subject we just
Stay
got to.
tuned.
It's
That's
another
right.
hour. Maybe we should all meet back here in another, what?
Let's do
How
it.
Yeah, I'll
20
keep
minutes?
drinking.
Could be,
I'm
man.
good.
Free
yeah.
drinks.
Free drinks till
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Have a
How
part
many?
two.
Seriously, Jax, just for a minute. What number painting are you up to? Because we could make it again when you're up to
I don't know, maybe 2,200.
2002.
22.
So what number?
1,000.
No, I'm sorry,
200.
20,200. Thank you.
20,200. So what should we meet back here when you get up to what number? Do you think?
How many do you do in a month?
Time 200.
Some guy's going to order 1,000 just by listening to the show.
I
And then
know.
you're going to
Yeah.
be like
Woohoo.
backlogged.
That would be it.
Next week.
So I'm completely lost. How many do we? Suppose you had to do another.
How about
1,000.
Wednesday?
How long does it take to do 1,000? If we got up to 20,
23.
English major,
3,000.
no math major here.
No,
No
pretty
pressure, man. No pressure.
Yeah.
20. Well, let me know when you get to. Well, let Graham DePonte, our producer, know when you get to 22,000.
Okay.
And that'll give us 1,000 to get it together.
Okay.
And then we'll plan to get together at 23,000. What do you say, you
I
guys?
say.
Yeah,
I say
I
we have
say
a
yay.
23,000
What will your next
party.
song be ready for?
Oh.
Oh,
We got a new
hopefully
one.
it'll be ready soon.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been working on new music, so.
Yeah.
And is it
Yeah.
that's coming out soon?
Peak.
Yeah, I
And
will
up
definitely
till
play
then-
some at September 9th,
September 9th
2017 at One Eye
2017 at One Eye
Jacks.
Jacks. Until then, we can steal it off of Spotify and all the usual places, and it's on
Absolutely.
YouTube.
Yeah.
And the name of the band is Roar, R-O-A-R.
Yeah,
And
Roar
it's
the Duo.
roartheduo.com.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much, Carly Myers and Adam Gertner.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
From
Thank
Roar
you.
the Duo. Jax Fry, the most prolific painter in the
Yes.
entire world,
Thank
is sitting
you.
right here
Absolutely.
at our table. And
That was
David
fun.
Capasso,
Thank you.
who's the expert on blowjobs and weed.
The
So
most entertaining.
it's been quite a wide-ranging conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. That's been Happy Hour for another week. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producers are Alison Moon and April Stolf. Christian Oner is our music director, and Jean Valois is our music producer. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and our show is engineered today by the fabulous Nathan Place. Our live feed directors are Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan, who cannot spell Bergeron. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show, and you can stay upright for about an hour while drinking free alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com. We can also check out lots of other shows we make, including hundreds of other hours of Happy Hour. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti. It's live from Commander's Palace. True to the Game with Chris True. Midnight Menu Plus One with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canata. Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and the podcast about death. Death the Podcast. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and also a bunch of other times such as social media. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. These photos are usually taken by Alison Moon, but she's totally sick as hell today with a bad back, so Hope has taken our photos. Thank you, Hope. If you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. If you've got a moment, take it to rate it and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans, where they have, David, a 3-hour happy hour here every day from 3 to 6 and a great brunch on the weekends. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, who will be back here next week. Everybody else around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for
Thank you,
more
Grant.
Happy Hour.
Thank you.
It's like, remember that show that people, when you watch Bob Newhart and they said, "Hi, Bob."